This is Eric Stark with the Smart RVer podcast, your trusted source for tips and insights to embrace the RV lifestyle without worries. So let's talk everything RV. Today is episode number 170. So let's jump right into it. We have Alexis here today. Like I said, she's going to take us to Santa Fe, New Mexico. She's going to tell us how to make unforgettable traditions, family traditions while RVing.
I am.
Yeah, that's probably a very, what word would I use? An interesting thing, because some families probably have some very interesting traditions why they RV.
Yeah,
You know,
they do. They're
drink themselves to oblivion, fight to the finish.
just natural tradition.
Just yeah. But that's what they do at home too, so it's no difference. Oh my word. Eric, here you go again.
Making the RV like home.
That's right. So hey, this is another episode where I really don't have any rants or anything.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a couple things on a list, but I don't have the list in front of me, so I'm not going to try to think of them because then I might mess something up. So what I want to do though is remind our listeners that if you have something you want to share with us, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, a hack you have for your RV, someplace you've been, maybe a suggestion for the show, whatever it is, just use the contact us page on our website and let us know, or call us. The phone number's there. The phone number and the contact information will be in the description of this podcast as well. We want to hear from our listeners so we know how to improve the show and what to talk about. Heck, even what not to talk about sometimes. All right, so now let's go to enjoying the RV life. And so creating unforgettable family traditions while RVing. Alexis, what are some unforgettable family traditions that can be created while RVing? That's a mouthful to say.
No idea. I have nothing prepared because I don't have a family. No, I do. Wow. My parents, they orphaned me. Okay. No, I'm joking. I have parents. They're fine. But see, this is what you can do when you have your family of your own now. You can make your own traditions with them, no matter how terrible your parents were. I'm just kidding. That's not very nice. Well, one thing you can do with family members is collect souvenirs. I know for you and Karen, you guys like to do, is it stickers or magnets?
Magnets.
Magnets. And I've gotten you onto mugs now. Mugs are something I like to collect. And I'm not sponsored by Starbucks, but Starbucks makes cups in each state that you can buy. And we were just in Utah and I bought the cutest mug from Utah, and they do this in every state. Anyway, that's one thing that makes it special. It's a good memory. That's an example of something you can do. Especially if you have kids. You can do this if you don't have kids. You can do special mealtime routines. So maybe you have a certain meal you all like to eat together. So bring that. Maybe it's gourmet hot dogs. So you bring all the goods for hot dogs and you sit down together. You make the hot dogs you like. You make them really special. Maybe you talk about your day, what you did, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, and you just have that family time. That can be really special. Maybe it's something like annual trip milestones. Maybe you go somewhere every year. Maybe that's your tradition. Maybe you head to the same place, you know you like it already, so you guys go there every year, and that's special to you. It's really whatever is up to your family. But my final thoughts are just make the tradition special, make it something that you enjoy doing all together, hopefully, and it's something you can remember forever.
So that sounds pretty good. A lot of people probably do that, don't even realize it,
Yeah.
whether they're RVing or other types of travel. We've been collecting magnets for years and years and years. We've got a billion of them, In fact, we're running out of space, places to put them. So the traditions are kind of interesting because sometimes the adults, they just kind of go through the motions. Oh, we got to do this while we're here. Like us, my wife and I, we got to get a magnet while we're here. But we put some thought into it, try to pick the right one.
Yeah.
We look at some and, we always buy one no matter what, though.
Good, yeah.
And now it is mugs. So I was just recently in Colorado and Wyoming, so I got a mug from each state. Oh, yeah, and that one from that show. Now, that's a different one.
Oh, okay. That's right.
So these traditions, though, like on our website, they have some actual families there that talk about the things they do.
Yes.
So if you look at the article on Enjoying the RV Life, the Unforgettable Family Traditions, there's the article, real life stuff, and it's important, especially if you have kids. It's things they look forward to. Sometimes they seem pretty mundane, but the kids be like, "Aren't we gonna do this?"
Right, they remember.
It could be marshmallow night, you know, you have marshmallows over the fire and the kids will love that. So if you have kids, you know, try to really make that a thing so they have really something to look forward to because you want them involved in the RV lifestyle as well.
Exactly.
All right, so a money saving tip now. Now this one's pretty obvious, pretty basic. It's riding a bicycle.
Okay.
So if you're out camping, you know, you can take a bicycle to run errands. You don't have to fire up the car, the truck, usually a truck, unless you have a motorhome and you're pulling a car. It just will save some money and it actually changes up the deal anyways. Maybe you got two bicycles, one for you and your spouse. So you can ride bicycles to run errands. You can ride bicycles to get exercise. You can cruise the park. If you're staying, like, let's say in Silverton, Colorado, you could take your bike to do a little bicycle tour, kind of maybe a little, what's that called? A covert operation there and go check out the town, see what's there, then go back in your vehicle, maybe so you can buy a magnet or whatever that souvenir is and take it back without breaking it, or food, hot dogs for that barbecue, or no, that hot dog night, whatever.
Hot dogs.
So a bicycle is pretty easy to carry in an RV or a travel trailer. They have racks, throw it on the back or in your truck. There's a lot of, you can't have an excuse, well, I can't get it there. That's lousy. But a bicycle is great. When my wife and I take our trailer anywhere, our bicycles go. No matter where we go, the bicycles go. Because they make it easier sometimes. Just a quick little run here, quick little run there, and exploring. So take the bikes, you get some exercise, you save some cash in the meantime. How can you go wrong with that? Well, I guess if you got hit by a bus, that would suck. Yeah, that'd be over with, right? So don't get hit by a bus. So this information will be on the smartrver.com and you can check it out and share it with your friends and family and come up with some ideas for traditions and get that bicycle on the RV. Now, this brings us to staying on the road. Now, we're going to talk about tire maintenance, and this is primarily for travel trailers. Motorhomes are a little bit different because their tires fall into that uh, automotive category. It's a different animal. Now, you still need to check them and air them up and do all the normal things, but trailer tires are just a unique breed. And most RVers or travel trailer owners, I would say, don't understand trailer tires. I know from our experience in real life that they don't get it. And I understand that because you just think it's a tire, it's a black thing, it goes on the trailer, they last forever. As long as there's tread, that tire is going to be good. And that's not the case.
Nope.
It's totally opposite of it. You know, tires, the typical trailer on average rolls about 2,000 miles a year. And a trailer tire lasts about 5 years. So you're going to put on about 10,000 miles on that tire. So you're still going to have plenty of tread left when that tire actually needs to be replaced. So that's an interesting thing, and it's a hard pill to swallow because no one likes buying tires.
But you gotta.
Whether it's for your car, your trailer, your truck, your motorhome, your utility trailer, your little kid's wagon, it doesn't matter. No one likes buying tires.
You know what I like to do? I like to ask people, do you want to die? Then buy tires.
Wow, that's a good way to go.
That's what I like.
Very direct.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's very true. Because, you know, a blowout on anything can be a real problem. And on a trailer, a blowout in itself, you know, the tire, let's say it's a $250 tire. Okay, who cares? The tire blows out, you put a new one on. But it's when that tread comes off and it starts hitting the underneath of the trailer, it could ruin the plumbing system. It could actually tear into a furnace or a refrigerator, tear up cabinetry. So it can cost hundreds or thousands more additional dollars in damage. And, you know, we have recommended the Tire Defender. in the past. So that's that steel fender that goes in there. It mounts to the axles. They work great.
They do.
But it has to work on your RV. So you can go to RV Defender. We'll have a link in the description as well. And you can see it and you can talk to them if one will work on your RV or a set of them. And they're a little pricey, but they're definitely worth it because one blowout is going to save you the money where to pay for those things. Definitely a cool product. But back to trailer tires. So I would say to start properly with your trailer tires is to keep them inflated. If you don't keep them at the proper pressure, it's going to ruin the tires. And they're not like car tires where you can fake this or keep them at the lowest tire pressure. Like some cars, car owners like myself, I put air in the tires close to what the manufacturer recommends, but not always what the manufacturer recommends. Like I might put more air in the front tires on one of our cars because it'll get better mileage. Tires might wear out a little bit quicker, but if you rotate it, they wear out equally, so it's not so bad. Whereas, like, let's say you bought a brand new Dodge truck and they recommend putting 80 pounds of pressure in the tires. That thing's going to ride like a brick down the road.
Right.
You're going to feel every bump. You run over an ant, you're going to feel it, So you don't want that. So you're going to reduce the tire pressure,
Right.
Maybe to 60 or 55 or something. Some people I know in trucks, they put the tire pressure at like 35.
Oh my gosh.
A little too soft for me,
I
but
know
heck,
that's
So trailer tires are not that way. You're supposed to keep them at the maximum pressure.
Yeah.
So if your tires say the maximum pressure is 80 PSI, you put them at 80 PSI. And the reason is trailers always have a load on them. They never do not have a load. The trailer itself is the load. Remember, your trailer axles, if you have two, are right next to each other. So the load is right there on two axles or on one axle if you have a single axle. So it's always has a load. That's why you keep them at the maximum tire pressure. It's not just cause. That's the reason why. And trailer tires are special in themselves because they have, in fact, they're called ST, special trailer. So they are special. I was right. Wow, man. What a day. So they're special because the sidewalls are stronger because trailer tires, when they go down the road and you make turns and stuff, those sidewalls are taking the brunt of everything. It's not the tread on the ground, it's the sidewall. In fact, if you're backing up a trailer or watching somebody back up a trailer, those tires will twist and turn. It looks like things are bending and breaking. Holy smoke, straighten it out. Something's wrong here. That's just what they go through because they're so close together, the two axles. It looks horrible, but that's what they're designed for. So you want to buy trailer tires, keep them properly inflated, and you want to keep them inflated all the time. You need to check them. I would check them once a month. I recommend taking your trailer out once a month and driving like 10 miles with it. I'm looking at Alexis because I know she doesn't do that with their trailer. Oh, wait, her husband's right over here. See, he's here too.
Yeah.
He's laughing. But, if you don't travel very far either for your trips, maybe it's not as important. If you're going out of the area, then you want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, maybe once a month, you might think that's crazy because hooking it up and all that could be a hassle. But you definitely want to move them because where they sit on the ground as well, they get those flat spots in the tires. And what that does is it breaks the cord that you can't see on the inside. So it starts breaking and that becomes a weak link. And that's where it can come apart. So having trailer tires properly inflated, using them, moving them down the road is very important. So it's not just tire pressure, it's everything else. But go back to tire pressure for a second. You want to check the tires, and this is all tires, when they're cold, not when they're hot. You want to check them when they're cold and air them up when they're cold. So if you've been driving for 4 hours and you let it sit for an hour, that's not cold. Technically, overnight would be cold if you can. Now, if you're traveling, you got to check your tires. You just have to do it. You check them and you do what you need to do. But when they get hotter, the air pressure increases, which is okay. It's that cold pressure that's important, and that gives you that balanced starting point. So, it might even change where you're at. If you're at home and the temperature is, let's say, 80 degrees, you go someplace else in the morning, the temperature is 50 degrees, that pressure will change. It will drop. So you might have to adjust for that and keep that in mind. It doesn't mean you have a flat. Now, the other thing about trailer tires is generally, it's the right size tire for the load of your trailer. So your tires have to match the weight of the trailer, or actually be a little stronger than the trailer. You want a little want them to have a higher weight rating than what your trailer is. And the trailer or tires, the weight rating is dependent upon the size of the tire. So that will be dependent on the size of the wheels that we'll put on your RV, and that'll be dependent on the hubs and the axles. So all that comes together, and we talked about in the last episode about weight ratings and capacities, how the axles have to be the right weight rating for the RV itself. So a lot of, no, I shouldn't say a lot, some RVs do not come with the proper axles on them. So if they don't have the proper axles, they won't have the proper tires as well. Now, like on my RV, the weight rating of the axles was just about the same weight rating as the trailer itself, empty. So that wasn't any good. So I upgraded the axles, put on heavier axles, and I put on bigger wheels at the same time so I could put on bigger tires. It had 14-inch wheels, and they just look stupid to begin with. Little tiny things, you know? Looks like you have wheelbarrow tires on there. So also for the looks of it, I did it, but it is actually needed to be done. It needed to have heavier axles. So that was the leaf springs, axles, drums, everything. New wheels, new tires. So it can cost some money if you have to do that. So that might be something you check before you buy an RV. And sometimes you won't notice any problems. Maybe you never check, but you're blowing out tires all the time or breaking leaf springs. That can be because they're not matching the weight of the trailer. They're overloaded all the time. And when you're buying replacement tires, it's best to go back with the same tire size that came on the RV if it was matched properly to everything else. You can sometimes go bigger, taller, wider, depending on how your RV is configured. You don't want it to hit anything above or on the sides, so you have to measure and talk to a professional to help you with that. If you can't figure it out on your own. It's usually not too hard. Most tires have all the dimensions on them. You can measure it in inches and figure out what you need to do. But having the correct size tires is very important. And now when you're not using your RV, you don't want it to just sit on the same spot on the tires all the time. And I mentioned that a moment ago. So that's important as well. And some people will actually put wood underneath the tires, which is fine, especially if you're in a hotter area or on gravel or, some weird type of ground or even asphalt. It keeps it off the ground so the tire's not going to get these weird shapes in it. Or maybe the heat from the asphalt will make that tire super hot right there, like if you're in Arizona. So you put it on a piece of wood, but make sure the wood is wider than the footprint of the tire. You don't want it like a 2x4 on a tire. You want like a 2x10. So it's wider than the tire and longer. So it's a bigger footprint. And that helps protect the tire as well, because if you have something smaller, the tire's gonna be hanging off the side, and that's gonna ruin the tire. And a lot of wheel chocks and stuff like that made for RVing are smaller. They have bigger ones and smaller ones. Smaller ones are $1 cheaper. Buy the bigger ones, maybe $2. Always buy the bigger ones so you're not damaging your tires. It's very important. And now, tire construction today is probably the best it's ever been. I don't know how much more it can be improved because tire construction is dialed in. And what's interesting too is today we still talk about plies. Like I want a 10-ply tire, I want a 6-ply tire. And what we're talking about is the sidewall. But plies haven't existed for decades. That went away with tires that were numbered like F7815. Long gone. You don't have that numbering sequence anymore. So when they talk about plies today, it's actually just a rating. The plies were rated at a certain weight rating. So you don't actually have plies today, you just have a tire that's rated at a certain rate weighting. Like maybe a 10-ply would be rated at 5,000 pounds, years ago. Well, that same tire would just be rated at 10-ply for 5,000 pounds, even though it's not a 10-ply tire. That number is probably not accurate either, by the way, so don't take that at face value. Too many numbers in my life to remember all this stuff. And, I want to get so hung up on the ply rating because the tire size is going to dictate what the ply rating is. And there are some people who want, like, I want a 14 ply no matter what. I got to have this ply or that ply. It gets a little ridiculous because you're paying extra for tires that you probably don't really need. It just becomes a personal thing. And if you're upping that weight rating, can the rest of the suspension, axles, and everything handle it? Was it designed for it? Or do you just want the tires to be able to hold it? Something to think about there. You might not need that weight rating. Most people that go beyond that don't really need it because they're not hauling stuff that would warrant that. So make sure you also inspect your tires. Don't let them just sit until you go on a trip and it blows out and go, oh, that tire's bad. Check them regularly before you go. Now, I should have started this whole thing off with my buddy Jerry. Yeah, Jerry's gone now, but
Aw.
God rest his soul. No, had to say it. Don't laugh. You're making me laugh now. So Jerry was going on a trip one time, and he was on the trip, and he calls me, "Hey, one of my tires blew out." Okay, yeah, I told you many times about trailer tires, how it works, and he never believed me. And it was, yeah, 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 I know. I mean, you said all that. So what should I do? Well, you got to get a tire, obviously. It's kind of like a dumb question. And I said,
Hello, Jerry.
and I said, I said, well, Jerry, actually, it's two tires. You need to replace both of them on the axle. And I said, I would get all four
Honest.
because if one blew, the others are going to go. And so he's like, no, I'm just going to get one. And I said, you know what? You're going to be buying another tire within 100, 200 miles.
Is this how Jerry died?
No.
Oh, but okay.
No, he's killed by a tire mechanic. So anyways, he goes down the road and the same thing. The tire that was in front of the tire that blew, because it was a rear tire, the tire in front blew because when the rear tire blew, all the weight went on that front tire and weakened it.
Yep.
So then it blew. And then, the rest of the story is he had to buy all four tires because all four tires blew out, and he had four different tires on there because he didn't want to do it all at once. So Jerry thought he was outsmarting, the tire manufacturers, the whole world, and myself, and he ended up losing that battle. So it's not a matter of being right, but I was right. So inspect your tires and make sure you're not traveling with bad tires. And as I said earlier, that 5-year thing can really suck. Now, I've seen tires that have been on a spare, never touched the ground, and they've blown out as a spare.
Yeah.
They just
Just
poof,
happens.
blow out. So they're not the most reliable thing. And make sure you have a spare. Make sure you maybe have two spares. If you're going to push the limit, make sure you got two good spares.
Yeah.
And remember, if you have to replace all four of your tires or all two of your tires, do the spare at the same time.
Thank
It's
you.
just as old.
Smart.
Don't take one of your tires off because you want to save 50 cents and put it on the spare. You're not doing yourself any favors that way. And keep your spare covered. Actually, keep your tires covered when you're not using your RV as well. So there's a lot of things to look at with a trailer tire, but the bottom line is 5 years. That's it, and you can try to squeeze it if you're traveling local and you're going maybe 20 miles, 50 miles. But if you drive distances 100 plus and you're out of the area, you don't want to be at the mercy of the tire shop if there's one nearby. You get a blowout, maybe you put your spare on, and it's as bad as your other tires, and it blows out. Now you're driving to the trailer or a tire shop, leaving your trailer parked on the side of the road. Your family scratching their head like, well, Dad, why are you so stupid, Didn't you listen to that podcast from the Smart RVer about this?
Hello.
Come on, Pops. So do your family a favor, do yourself a favor, and make sure your tires are in good shape on your trailer. So that is all I have to say on that. And by the way, there'll be a link in the description to our other website, Sun Pro Manufacturing, where there's a full article here about trailer tire maintenance. Because they said a lot, said it quickly. So you can read that and digest it more slowly. Now, that's going to take us to Santa Fe, New Mexico. So Alexis, what is happening in Santa Fe?
This is an exciting place to go. So we're going to go to Santa Fe, which is nestled in the foothills of the, I'm going to say this wrong, Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Mm.
Whatever you say, man.
All right. Jerry's not here to correct me. And is a vibrant destination known for its rich history, thriving art scene, and stunning natural beauty. And, fun fact, it's the oldest state capital in the US, and the city boasts a unique blend of Native American, Spanish, and Anglo cultures. So, here's some hot spots. The Santa Fe Plaza. The center of the city. Here we go, where you can shop till you drop. Lots of shops. And my favorite is to people watch. I love people watching wherever I go, especially airports. Have you ever done that? Watch people struggle. They look so mad. It's so funny.
I'm not even going to comment.
Okay. You don't like to fly. All right. Then we've got the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. She's a renowned artist. She has a very unique and beautiful art style, so check her out. And then we've got the Canyon Roads Art Galleries, which are all over the place there. It's a vast art district. It caters to everyone's varied taste in art, so you're going to find something you love there. And then, of course, for the food lovers, we've got iconic eateries like The Shed. It's a must-eat. This place serves authentic Mexican food. And, cool thing, they sell their incredible homemade salsa online. I looked the other day. Looks incredible. It's not that expensive. Looks beautiful. I'm going to get some. And then Cafe Pascal's. This place is well located if you're in the art district. It's really easy to grab a bite because there's a ton of variety about anything you want. And then for outdoor enthusiasts, we've got the Bandelier National Monument. Preserves a high density and variety of archaeological resources from the ancient Pueblo period, including cavats carved into cliffs and volcanic tuff. I'm having a hard time with pronunciation. And then, of course, the Santa Fe National Forest. You don't have to travel far to find these beautiful mountain slopes, volcanic formations, deep river gorges, primitive wilderness areas. There's just a ton to see. On the archaeological front, there's a lot there. So, my takeaway is you've got to put this on your list to visit because it's really incredible. Actually, New Mexico as a state is pretty incredible. So this is just one of the cities you can visit.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting. Back to you. So Santa Fe is a very nice place. I've been there once or twice. So I definitely recommend it. It's an RVer place. It's an artsy place. A lot to do. Something about New Mexico in general. There's always so much to do there, you know?
Definitely. Lots to see.
It reminds me of this town called Madrid. Imagine that. We're going to be talking about today in Shadows of the Past. Towns that once were. So let me give you a little story about Madrid. Let me put on my glasses this time so I can see. Wow, man, that's like a 98 font here. All right, so is everybody ready out there? Ready to listen? Got the fireplace going, the marshmallows ready to go on the fire.
Nestled in the Ortiz Mountains along the scenic Turquoise Trail lies a gem of a town called Madrid, pronounced Madrid by locals. This enchanting place was a bustling coal mining town. Today it beckons travelers with its unique blend of history, art, and natural beauty. Look at this place, the adobe buildings, the art galleries, the vibe. It's like stepping into another world. The Mine Shaft Tavern is just up ahead, famous for its green chili cheeseburgers. Madrid's roots stretch back to the mid-19th century when coal mining fueled its growth. By the early 1900s, it was a thriving company town, producing coal for the Santa Fe Railroad and electricity generation. The streets were alive with over 4,000 residents during its heyday. The 1920s and 30s brought Madrid national fame with its elaborate Christmas light displays. But as coal demand waned after World War II, so did the town's fortune. By the 1950s, Madrid had become a ghost town. In the 1970s, Madrid found new life. Artists and free spirits, drawn by its affordability and beauty, began to settle here. Today, Madrid is a vibrant community with art-filled galleries, eclectic shops, and cultural events. Look around and you'll find turquoise jewelry, pottery, and sculptures made from reclaimed mining equipment. No visit to Madrid is complete without a stop at the Mineshaft Tavern, a hub for locals and visitors alike. This historic hotspot offers hearty food, live music, and a rustic charm that transports you back in time. Their green chili cheeseburger is as good as everyone says, paired perfectly with a local craft beer. This coffee from Java Junction is amazing. Sitting on their porch, you can take in the charm of Madrid. Afterward, visit the Madrid Old Coal Town Museum to dive deeper into the town's rich history. The museum is a treasure trove of artifacts, photographs, and exhibits that paint a vivid picture of its coal mining past. As the sun sets over the Ortiz Mountains, Madrid's charm only deepens. The clear skies reveal a blanket of stars, a reminder of the natural beauty surrounding the captivating town. Sitting by the fire, you can't help but feel the spirit of this place. I can't wait to return during the winter time to see the town blanketed in snow. Madrid, New Mexico, a town of history, creativity, and endless wonder. Plan your visit and discover its unique Native American appeal for yourself. So that's Madrid, New Mexico.
Very nice.
So you ready to go there?
I really am.
You know, all these places we talk about, it's just never ending, just adds more to the map.
It really does.
You're gonna have to live to be like 100.
Yeah, come on, Cole. We gotta go.
So what we really need is sponsors or listeners of the show that want to donate like $1 million to the cost. We don't have to work anymore and go traveling, you know? I mean, that would be really cool. That way we can talk more about it. More places, you know, we could elaborate. We can send you a cheeseburger.
Yeah, we will too.
I mean, that would be very sweet. I mean, I'd go for that. If someone would send me a cheeseburger. Man, I'd probably want more than that. All right, so you can read that article on our website as well.
Yeah.
Shadows of the Past is there. And yeah, it's there. All right, so now let's go to RV Envy, and we're going to talk about the Chill Cube 18,000 BTU air conditioner from Lippert Components. Now, what's really so cool about this air conditioner, besides it's really a high-performance air conditioner, it's going to cool down the inside of your RV at least 30% quicker than any other brand on the market, and it's so quiet. It's a day and night difference in noise, and noise is the big thing. Like in all RVs, you listen to that air conditioner just drone on, it becomes this nuisance. You have to talk over it. You know, the TV has to be louder if you're watching TV or Netflix or something. The Chill Cube 18,000 BTU air conditioner eliminates that. In fact, I was just at a trade show. I've ordered some, and one of them's earmarked for my RV. It's going on there. Now, to tell you about my RV, I have a new RV with a new air conditioner on it, and I thought it was a little small, so I have another brand new air conditioner in my shop, but I got that one at a really killer deal to go on there. So now I'm going to have 3 air conditioners for my RV. 2 are coming off, or one's coming off, and the other one's going to get sold, so the domestic ones are going away. Going to go with the Lippert. And the other cool thing about this Lippert Chill Cube is you don't have to use the wall thermostat. So you can just replace the ceiling or the ceiling assembly in the upper unit, the air conditioner itself, and it has a remote. And it also has controls on the ceiling assembly, so you can access it either way. So you don't have to use the wall thermostat. Now, if you want a wall thermostat, they do sell one that will replace your wall thermostat if you have a heat AC thermostat, which most RVs do today. So if you insist on that, you can do that. Now, when you take off your existing air conditioner, you put the Lippert on, you can still use your thermostat for the furnace. That'll still work fine. That's not really a problem. So the remote makes it kind of cool because you can turn it on, off, adjust it anywhere in the RV as long as it can see it. It's a line of sight function. And there's a reason for that too. So if you're outside, you can't be adjusting your RV and forget to turn it on, turn it off. You can't mess with it. It kind of makes sense. Then if you have 2 RVs, the same remote will, 2 RVs, 2 air conditioners, the same remote will work on both of them, which is kind of nice, you know. Right. Or if your neighbor has one and they invite you in, you can turn it off when everybody goes, what's wrong with my air conditioner, you know? Yeah. So it's very cool. And price-wise, it's gonna come in a little bit cheaper, the same price as like a 15,000 BTU air conditioner. Depends on where you buy it, time of day, all that good stuff, like always. So it's definitely worth looking into if you're thinking about a new air conditioner or you're just sick and tired of the noise. And that's my thing. I'm sick and tired of the noise. But also, when it's hotter out and you go to someplace warmer, it's going to cool it down inside quicker. Like maybe you've been driving all day, you're in Arizona, you get there and it's like, oh man, it's going to take forever to cool down. This thing will cool it down so much quicker. It's amazing. So you'll absolutely love it. This is one of those purchases that you won't go wrong with. So Alexis says.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, find out this thing's the biggest piece of junk on the face of the earth. Nah, I'm just kidding. Lippert actually makes some good stuff. They make some bad stuff like everybody, a big company, a good, bad, ugly, the indifferent. All right, so that brings us to the end of RV Envy, and actually that brings us to the end of the show. So all this wonderful information is going to be on the Smart RVer website, and as always, recommend this to your family and friends so they continue to learn about RVs and how to maintain them and places to go and starting family traditions. So it's been an awesome show, and I want to thank everybody for stopping by today and listening or watching on YouTube. So this is Eric Stark with the Smart RVer podcast, your go-to guide for smarter RVing and unforgettable adventures on the open road.